Hey everyone, so today's video is going to be my current beauty favourites. I used to do one of these videos at the end of every month showing you what my favourite products had been for that month, but I was just finding that I don't have the money to spend on new products every single month, like a lot of new products every month. I might get one or two, but I just wasn't discovering new products that were great and were favourites at the rate that I needed to do a video every month. So what I decided to do was just stop doing them every month and just kind of let myself actually discover real favourites, and then just do a video when I have a few real favourites that I've really been loving. And some of these I've been loving for more than a month as well. I think it's been about at least 3 or 4 months since I did a favourites video, so some of these I've been using that whole time. And others are new favourites because, like I said, I do still buy makeup, just not at a very fast rate. At this stage, I've also kind of realised that I have like 17 blushes and I have never ever hit pan on a blush, which means that I probably have enough blushes to last me a lifetime. And that has kind of taken the joy out of buying new blushes a little bit, because I think to myself, I'm spending this money and I'm never going to use it up. Like, I might use it a few times, I'll love it, but I just won't get my money's worth out of it. So that's why you've been seeing kind of more decluttering videos from me and like project use it up type videos. And I definitely have a couple of use it up type videos in mind that I want to start next year and kind of run through the whole of 2017. But that's why you've not been seeing like makeup hauls and favourites videos from me as often. But all that aside, I do have favourite products that I've been using for the last little while, and I want to share them with you today, so let's get started. So the first favourite that I have is a little sample size primer from Benefit. This is the Professional, and I know everyone loves this primer, but I've only just tried it in the last few weeks, and I absolutely love it. This has the most smoothing feeling ever. Like, even on your hands, when you've applied it with your hands feel so soft and like there's no bumps on them at all. And the same thing on your face. When you apply it all over your face, it just completely smooths everything. It totally blurs pores. It does what it's meant to do, and it just makes your face feel amazing. I have to say, with most of my foundations, this doesn't actually change the way they look at all, but with one in particular, namely the Benefit Hello Flawless, which is a foundation that I hate, this makes it look a lot nicer. So I did do a first impression on the Hello Flawless foundation last year. I think it was my first ever first impression, so it was kind of an awkward video, but I really didn't like it. I put on 2 layers of the foundation in that first impression and it looked really cakey, and so I think I said to you guys that it maybe would have looked better if I only had 1 layer on. So I kept using it after that to obviously test it out a bit more, and I would only put on 1 layer and it still looked really cakey. No matter what I did, that foundation always looks cakey on me. But since I've been using it with the Professional, it looks like a normal foundation. It doesn't look cakey, it doesn't look gross, it just looks nice. So I do believe that those two products go really nicely together, the Professional and the Hello Flawless foundation. But I feel like if you're using any other foundation, then this is maybe not necessary. Unless you have another one that looks cakey, maybe this just really helps with that. Either way, I think it's a really great primer. I'm just not sure that it's necessary for most foundations. Since we're already talking about Benefit, I'll just mention the other product of theirs that is my favourite at the moment. It is the Hoola Bronzer. Now, I love this because you can use it as a contour and a bronzer at the same time, which is what I've done today. I do have a tutorial on this look. It probably went up a few weeks ago now. So what I kind of do is I draw a line with my contour brush and kind of go over it a couple of times, which is the contour part, and then I'll blend this colour upwards so that it kind of becomes my bronzer as well, and then I'll just run it along kind of the outside of my forehead, and that way it does the contour and the bronzer kind of all in one step, and it's really easy. The shade is perfect if you have light or fair skin. This is a really good option because I know a lot of bronzers can look really orange. This one works really nicely for me. The only thing that I have to say about this one, and I know that most people don't agree with me on this, but I think the packaging is just really bulky. I know most people think the packaging is cute, and I agree that it's cute, but I think it's just a big waste of space. Like, look at all the space inside this box that is not being used for anything. I know the brush came in there, but I mean, no one uses the brushes that come with these things, and also the brush wasn't even that big. So I feel like I would probably never travel with this just because it takes up too much space, and I have other bronzers that kind of take up less space. But yeah, it's a great product. Next, I have a couple of products from Maybelline that I've been really enjoying recently. The first one is the Fit Me powder. This is the Set and Smooth for normal to dry skin. I have this in the shade 120 Classic Ivory. The reason that I like this powder is because it doesn't mattify. I do still really like my mattifying powders, but I feel like all of my other powders are kind of mattifying, and this is the only one that kind of lets the glow still shine through. So if you have oily skin, you probably won't like this, but for me, I do have normal to dry skin, and since this is for normal to dry skin, I just find that it's perfect for me. I haven't actually used the puff that it's come with. I do want to try that out and see if it's any good, but just with a normal brush it works great. And the colour of this suits me really well in winter as well. This is the same shade that I have the Fit Me foundation from, and the Fit Me foundation only suits me in summer. It's quite dark for me at the moment, whereas this one for some reason is much lighter than the 120 foundation, and so it suits me in winter, which means it might be a little light in summer, but I will make it work. And then the other product that I've been loving from Maybelline is the Lash Sensational Mascara that I know I'm totally late on this bandwagon. Everyone's been loving this mascara for like a year now or something like that. I love the way this mascara makes my lashes look. It curls them, it makes them look really thick and really nice, but the one problem that I have with this, and I'm not sure why it does it, I've never heard anyone else mention this, but when I take this off, it like doesn't remove properly or something. There is no black on my makeup pad when I remove this. It looks like the mascara's all come off my lashes, but there's nothing on the makeup pad. And so the first time that happened, I got really confused. I was like, did I forget to put mascara on this morning? Where is it? But then the next day, like when I wake up the next morning, I will have mascara all under my eyes, just like flaky black bits. And it's every time I wear this one, I don't know why it does it, because it doesn't flake off during the day. It looks beautiful during the day, which is why it's in my favorites video. I'm just not sure why it kind of flakes during the night and doesn't come off when I remove it. So if you have any ideas as to why that happens, please let me know. Is it because this is waterproof? Is there a non-waterproof version, and is that the one that I was supposed to get? Because if so, I will definitely buy this again in the non-waterproof version. Either way, it looks beautiful while it's on, so I do deal with the fallout the next day because it looks so nice while it's on. My next favourite is actually a brush that I've had for quite a while. I've just kind of discovered a new way to use it that I really like. It is the Real Techniques stippling brush, and when I first got this, I used it for foundation, and it does work, but it takes a really long time to blend a foundation with a stippling brush. So after that, I was kind of using it for really pigmented blushes that I kind of didn't want to go overboard with, and it's quite good for that because, you know, it only picks up a little bit of product because they obviously the bristles are quite sparse at the top, so it doesn't pick up too much product. But how I've been using it recently is actually for my bronzer. I'm not quite sure why it looks so good, but I can tell you that it looks good. When I apply my bronzer with this, it seems to just distribute it nicely and blend it nicely, and there's kind of the right amount of bronzer in the right places, and it's a nice size as well for kind of, you know, bronzing. So I really like my bronzer contour brush from XO Beauty because I can contour and bronze at the same time, but if I don't want to contour, if I just want to bronze, this brush is really good for that. And the last product that I have been absolutely loving for the last few months is the Lorac Pro Palette. Now, I got this for my birthday, which was in May, so that was probably about 6 months ago now, and I have been absolutely loving it. When I first got it, I kind of thought that I would just use all of the lighter colours, and then kind of the second half of the palette I wouldn't use very much because I don't wear darker colours on my lid. But I have actually found a few different ways to use the darker colours, like Espresso, which is a dark brown that I would never use on my eyes. I use this to fill in my brows, and I've like almost hit pan on this now. Then black I can use as an eyeliner, just kind of a really subtle eyeliner because obviously it's a powder, it's not going to be really intense as a liner, but it looks really nice, just kind of smudged out a little bit along your lash line. And then pewter and garnet for me are still wearable because garnet's not dark, it's just bright, and then pewter is not as dark as it looks like it's going to be. I think pewter is a really gorgeous colour for fall. And then all the rest are just really easy to use. Mauve and taupe I use as transition colours depending on what the lid colour is going to be. Light bronze and gold are two of my absolute favourite shades to wear all over the lid. Gold is the colour that I used in this makeup look, which again I have a tutorial up on my channel on this look. Again, a really beautiful colour for fall. Light bronze is my personal favourite shadow from the whole palette. I find it just so easy to put all over the lid. I think it's really beautiful for summer. And then champagne, nude, cream and white are all kind of highlight colours. They can go under your brow bone, in your inner corner, on your face if you want to do your face highlight from this palette. And then light pink is another nice one to use all over the lid if you want like an all matte eyeshadow look. So the only two colours that I don't really use are these two down here, deep purple and slate. So considering that I thought I wasn't going to use this half of the palette, that's pretty good. I really love the quality of these shadows. They blend really easily. They're super pigmented. I just really like the color choices as well. For me, this is a palette that can do everything. So I definitely recommend, if you've been interested in the Lorac Pro palettes, I definitely recommend them. They are great quality and I don't think you'll be disappointed. So those are all the products that I have been loving recently. Hopefully this video was helpful for you because they're not kind of just spur of the moment favorites. These are products that I've actually been using for a few months now that really work for me, and hopefully if you check them out they'll work really well for you as well. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you aren't already, leave me a comment down below letting me know what your favourite beauty products are at the moment, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!